Page 103. He's describing that kingdom where all things always are in their perfect plan. So she's speaking of the world force. On the middle of the page 103, he says, there dwell earth nature's shining origin. The shining origins of our manifestation in matter. Actually, all material manifestation starts with a concept or a plan, and even the Universal Mother had planned it out. So, in that world, the perfect plans on which she molds her works. She's a shaper, a doer, but before you do, you think out, you plan out what you want to do. The distant outcomes of her travailing force. She's laboring, struggling. Gradually, that manifestation of perfection, which at present is very distant, will slowly be worked out. It has to work against the very substance of matter where there is resistance, where there is inertia. So she has the power to work her way through all this opposition. The greater the opposition, the greater the achievement finally, the more complete and perfect. So the riches of that future manifestation, the riches unfound or still uncaught by our lives, unsullied by the attaint of mortal thought. Mortal thought is almost a sin, because when it is the divine force, the Shakti, she's working it out, the very nature of mind is to doubt, to say this can't be done. The world of matter, the world of manifestation will not be able to manifest that perfection. Therefore, we have to give up this world of matter if you want to enter into a perfect heaven or manifestation of a consciousness. But consciousness is so little understood in the world of matter that you say there is no consciousness here, there is only inertia, there is only matter. It resists my conscious effort. I fail, I attempt, I fail. Nature is attempting. She seems to fail. She's attempting to change us. She's attempting to make us move forward. We keep on falling back. So it is this, that plan remains constant. And it is this that prevails, the labor, to become what we were originally intended to be, to manifest that. She made us for that. Today we are already decided we can't do it. We can't transform ourselves. We are too ignorant. We cannot change. There is too much dullness. This is that plan, that perfection never alters. So unsullied by the attaint of mortal thought, he's talking about the riches, abide in that pellucid atmosphere. Pellucid, pure, luminous, lets the light through. That means no density of darkness, of heaviness, of impurity. So our vague beginnings are overtaken there. Our middle terms sketched out in prescient lines, our finished ends anticipated live. In 3 lines, he gives us the whole plan. We start with a vague beginnings, because the beginnings of manifestation is more defined by dullness, by opposition, the attempt or the felt feeling for change, for progress, for development is not there. Nature allows, or matter allows herself to be shaped to some extent. A seed pushes its way through the soil, but it's not consciously done, it's part of the law of nature. It will grow into a plant, it will try to touch the sky without knowing why it is doing so. We often live like that. We grow also, we change, but why? There is absolutely no participation or conscious participation in our action. Nature is pushing us. This is the mother, she is the force, the universal force. In the lower planes, this is the, you say, the lower energy, that is the automatic energy, the aparashakti. On the higher planes, this becomes the parashakti, the higher planes of consciousness. So that is why it is as if an automatic force in the mud, in the atom, is shaping itself to manifest something more and more complex, starts with complexity. The unicellular being becomes polycellular. The one single mind of the plant that wants to grow upwards is replaced by man who wants to move in many directions. He grows this way and that way, he loses his way, he experiments with this and that. The complexity comes in, variety comes in, and therefore it is richer but more liable to error. Whereas in the early stages, there's only one thing that nature makes matter do. In man, mind has come in, life has come in, with their egos, their desires, their thoughts, their opinions. Mind has so many opinions. It says, this I can do, this I don't want to do, this I'd like to do. All these things take so much time. Take or do they waste time? I don't know if it's a waste of time. It is perhaps slow enrichment. You learn through your mistakes, you grow slowly, your mind makes mistakes, and then through that you acquire some kind of knowledge by experience. We make mistakes, we learn by experience. We participate then in our growth. So this is also part of the law of matter. Matter is guided by mind, matter and life. So it is as if our middle terms sketched out. In prescient lines, the ultimate has already been worked out. Slowly it's taking a shape. Our finished ends, anticipated live. The future is already present. It's done. It's because the end of the road is already there that we are moving towards that end. So the future doesn't come out later, it's already there. It is towards that we are moving, unknown to us. So our future ends, anticipated live. Anticipation or prescience is not foreknowledge. It is knowledge of reality as it is already made. In that world of the subtle plans, the future is present. The end is already there. It has to be slowly manifested on this world of matter, where she takes up this power of manifestation, takes up all the elements which slowly make the whole expression more complete, more total. In the world of the subtle physical, the material element has been, for the time being, put aside, but the form is there. Like a sculptor has a form in his head. When he puts it into shape, he meets with certain difficulties that the clay or the stone has. He has to work his way through this. But that ideal form is already present, and otherwise the artist can't create something. The divine artist can't create or won't create something unless the end were not present already. So what is our end? That divinity, that perfection. We were made for that. Everything in us seems to oppose that attempt because we accept ourselves today as we are. As we are, we say, no, I can't do it. It's too difficult. It's just because of the difficulty that the greater final manifestation will happen. So, this finished ends, anticipated, live. This brilliant roof, this is the world of the subtle matter. 104, yes. Abhisha. This brilliant roof of our descending plane, intercepting the free boon of heaven's air, amidst small inrushes of a mighty breath, or fragrant circuits through gold lattices, it shields our ceiling of terrestrial mind from deathless suns and the streaming of God's rain, yet canalizes a strange irised glow, and bright dews drip from the immortal sky, a passage for the powers that move our days, occult behind this grosser nature's walls, a gossamer marriage hall of mind with form is hidden by a tapestry of dreams. It's a long but such a beautifully precise description. Heaven's meanings steal through it as through a veil. Its inner sight sustains this outer scene. So this brilliant roof, this kingdom of subtle matter, is like the brilliant roof of our descending plane. We have come down from there. We have to therefore manifest that. We have come down from the divine. We have lost that memory, that contact. But we are meant to manifest that perfection. Sometimes we do get some inspirations. There are openings, especially those minds that are more, you might say, less rigid, less completely founded on the truth merely of the material world. That a person who's completely a materialist has this strength and the foundation of solid matter, but sometimes denies himself the possibility of something other, something that cannot be proven by material experience. We are not just matter, we are also spirit. Man is complex. So sometimes in us there is an opening and the breath comes in. Inspiration actually is breathing in. You breathe an energy. Our beings are filled for a while, especially those who are empty of themselves for a while, like the artist. He's empty. His ego is, for the time being, put aside, and he is filled by a light or a truth or a vision that can fill his vessel, his being. So these are like inrushes. They don't last long because the artist is not necessarily a yogi. He has prepared himself for this state. Inspiration is a grace. It comes without our asking for it, if we are empty of ourselves. Our vessel has to be empty. If I can do that even for a little while, I can connect with something that comes from elsewhere. I don't know where. I suddenly see a picture, a vision, a truth, an experience, a light, a joy, whether I'm a musician or an artist or a poet. They are not so intellectual. The moment the intellectual reasoning comes, there is questioning, there is doubt, there is kind of trying to disprove these things. They say these are not true, they don't last, and the whole thing is spoiled. So, this brilliant roof of our descending plane, so the involution of consciousness, we have come from above, We have descended into the world of darkness. We have to climb back up to that world, carrying the darkness up into the light. This is the whole principle of Sri Aurobindo's yoga. The involution that has to precede evolution of consciousness. And as the consciousness evolves from below upwards, it takes up all the inconscience, the resistance, the inertia, not all right away, but there is this attempt to rise out of the darkness towards the light. Because that light has come inside. Inside us, the truth has already been planted, and that is pushing from below. And if that push is strong enough, something in me responds to that truth. Then I call, then I open, then I experience, then I get a touch. I see a beauty. I feel a love or a joy. And it expands my being, opens it to all kinds of other experiences. These are the things that it is as if the divine has given us, especially the sense of the immaterial in the world of matter, like beauty. Beauty is a principle of perfect harmony or the divine manifestation in form. So form, it's not just a fixed form. There is a presence behind the form. And it is this which is from within there is a response. I can feel something in this form. Then I am not just form, I am not just matter. I can relate to something other than matter. Then I realize that inside me, inside man, inside the earthly creature, there is something more than man, more than matter. And this has to come out, but carrying the world of matter with it up towards the light. The involution will help us raise this world of darkness from below, the push. This is the work of the Universal Mother's energy. She's pushing from below, asking us to grow, not just in form and size and shape, but in manifesting that spirit which is until then waiting, like the image that Mother gives of the lotus bud. It waits for it to open. There's a moment when the bud opens. It becomes a flower. But it doesn't open the same time for everybody. There is no hard and fast rule. There is not a fixed law. Then it becomes that it's no longer a spiritual experience. It's not the experience of the spirit. It tends to become religion. It becomes a fixed code of rules, conducts, behavior, and chills the spirit. It gets completely frozen.
Why has he used the word brilliant roof? Brilliant roof.
Brilliant, because roof, it is above you. It comes from above, no? The light comes down into our world, otherwise our world is made of mud. But there are cracks in the roof. Sometimes it's good to have cracks. You can see the sky. You get the rain. The symbol of rain also, which is happening now. What did Mother call it?
Grace.
Grace. So something is coming down, which sometimes can be very inconvenient. Rain can be inconvenient. We can't stand it, but we can't do without it. We have to open to that knowledge that we have to always open ourselves to something more than what we understand truth to be.
Nice comparison. Grace is also often inconvenient.
Very inconvenient sometimes, because there's so much, we are given so much you can't bear it. It's too much. All around, all the time we are imbibing the grace. We cannot live without it. Air is grace, water is grace, sky is grace, earth is grace, spirit is grace. How much can my little being carry? It spills out, because the ego has its own formation. But when these things, experiences come, That little ego has very little to do with it. It receives. There are those who receive much more easily. There are those in whom, through a certain prior development associated sometimes with education, with tradition, with all kinds of fixed notions, you say, this can't be true, this can't happen, these things don't happen. But we could not be without it. So there is this other plane of experience which is always around us. And if we realize that we are being raised up, molded, shaped by a force that is not ours, all we have to do is just to receive. The emphasis on receptivity. In order to receive, I have to be empty of myself. My being is like a vessel. If I can empty my vessel, then I can fill it with whatever is given to me. That light or the truth or the joy or the grace that comes, then I can receive it. But if I'm already full of myself, I think of myself as somebody very intelligent, who understands most things better than others, that's it. For me, it's finished. Mother says, these people are very good to be kept in museums. You just keep them in a museum. They are not going to change easily. If you are simple, you can be shaped. This is the world where the divine inspiration, the thoughts of perfection come in touch. And if we are ready to receive them, this is the end of the student's prayer. We be ready to receive them. The help is there, we have to receive them. This brilliant roof of our descending plane admits small inrushes of a mighty breath. The universal energy, we can't stand so much. We are not ready for it. We'll break down under the pressure. But everything is an inrush of that breath. Every little experience can become the opportunity for opening our eyes. Even as there's a beautiful prayer that I like very much, the 31st of March, 1917. She says each time, Sri Aurobindo has translated it also very beautifully, each time that you thrill to something more beautiful, your whole being opens up. You can see it then it is not just a fact, it becomes a joy. You see the smile of a child, and he says, in the smile of a child, you see infinity. The mind of the child is not questioning anything, it just smiles. In the curving of a wave, you see the love of the divine that is at work through form, that beauty that comes. It's a perfect wave. Every wave is perfect. It doesn't last. A wave will break very quickly, but while it lasts, isn't it beautiful? The song of the bird, it's not just a song, it's a chant, it's a prayer, it's a thanksgiving. The bird doesn't sing to be admired. The bird sings because it is the delight of existence is there. So when we respond to beauty, that part in us that responds, we see the play of the divine grace. Perhaps that's why we have the image of the flute player. It is through the beauty of sound that you connect with the beauty of color, the beauty of sight, or the beauty of sound, or the beauty of a smile, anything. But it is a magical presence in the world of form. It's not a perfect form, just a perfect form. That is why this brilliant roof admits small inrushes of a mighty breath. A universal force comes down into our little world. We get whatever we can grasp. Or fragrant circuits through gold lattices. A lattice is like a kind of a interweaving of wood or metal or matter. It is matter, but there are openings, there are gaps. And gold symbolizing always the higher consciousness, because the gold does not tarnish, it doesn't darken, it remains perfect. In us, there are moments when we are made of gold. Something in us responds. The sun above is golden. In us, there is something golden, a higher consciousness. Now and then there are openings in the being. Now and then we catch, we establish a connection in that world of form. It shields our ceiling of terrestrial mind from deathless suns and the streaming of God's rain. Too much we can't take. The earth always is attracted to the sun, but the earth doesn't go too near the sun. She turns away from the sun. She turns towards the sun. She turns away from the sun. We want the rain, we don't want too much. There is a kind of limit. For a very long time, we are defined by our limitations, not only by our capacities, but you say, I can't take so much. I can't bear so much. There were those in the olden days who sometimes did not go to see the mother. Sometimes they say we couldn't take it too much. It's too much of a pressure. You feel that your nature is breaking down. She didn't do anything. She only touched them, blessed them, smiled. What she did through that smile was so strong that they felt they were breaking down. They went mad. Some of them left. Because the pressure of the lower nature is also strong. We are impure. We can't take away too much love, too much beauty, too much harmony, too much divinity. You just say, leave me alone, leave me as I am. I'm comfortable with myself. And that is why it takes so long to change, to evolve, because we do not want it. And if you read Mother's talks to the students, when you ask her the question, how to do this, what should be done at this time, so often she just says, you have to want it. First you have to want it, then it can start. We don't want. We prefer our things to be done for us without our participation. She'll do everything for me, I will do nothing. This is very ungrateful actually, very selfish, and that's the problem. We have to stop being selfish. And that self has taken a long time to be made, so it's not easy to root it out just like that. The ego is there. So this brilliant roof admits small inrushes of a mighty breath or fragrant circuits through gold lattices. The joy of the senses, fragrant, beauty of form, beauty of all the sense experiences. Sense is magical. There is the physical sense, there is the subtle sense. There is a response to the subtle being, and that is this world. We have our personal, material, physical body, and there is another body all around us, our nervous body. Because the nerves respond. There are those in whom the nerves have been quietened or been disturbed, either way, the response is not there. So there's a refinement of the nerves that have to be acquired. Like a musical instrument, the wires, the strings of the instrument have to thrill. The instrument is not enough. There is a being that has to learn to thrill. That is our nervous system. This is the Sukshma Sharira. So it shields our sealing of terrestrial mind from deathless suns and the streaming of God's rain, yet canalizes a strange irised glow. It's not the whole light that comes down. Iris is the goddess of the rainbow. Iris has many colors. So it breaks it up. That experience is broken up into experiences of something which is not the whole light, but a glow. It can come in the form of one color. So there are people who respond to particular colors also. You respond more particularly to the experience of blue or the experience of green. I remember there was a time when Mother was giving her saris to every lady of the ashram. We were not yet grown-up ladies, but we were very fortunate. We were given also. Some of us were given saris. I remember we were 11 or 12 years old. But she chose colors. Each person, she says, I've given you a different color. You try to understand why I chose this color for you. So, I got a blue.
I was about to ask
Huh?
that. I was about to ask that.
Yes, I got sky blue. So to each of us, you try to figure out, the sari was the same, the pattern was the same. I still remember they were Georgette saris with the silver border. Why is your color the way what I have chosen for you? Why has that one got red? Why has that one got green? Find out. Then you come and tell me why.
You found out yours?
Well,
Anyway, what does blue signify like that? Blue.
I don't know. I have a certain special liking or likeness always for blue. Something that is very vast. Sky, sea. I don't know. It stretches my being, quietens the being. Might be. Not that I don't like red or pink or yellow, I like everything, but blue. I still remember, you try to find out to each one. You find out why I chose this color for you. She gave herself so much time to each person. They took weeks and weeks, all the ladies of the ashram, weeks and weeks decide which sari she will give to which person and why, and which color. I don't know what she said to the other ladies, they were grown-ups, we were children. But I remember her telling us this. But colors have a significance. Pink has a significance. Pale pink is associated with the psychic. Red is associated with the physical. Blue, maybe with Krishna, I don't know. Only not just that. Green with youth and hope. She was very fond of green. But all the significances were there. So the irised glow and bright dews drip from the immortal sky. That's all you can take, just a few dew drops. A dew drop is it's like a blessing. But pouring of a huge shower of rain can crush. The earth says, now please, that's enough. I'm tired. I can't bear so much rain. But a little gentle drizzle is very, very attractive on a hot day. So this world, a passage for the powers that move our days. There are universal forces that are at work always. It passes through this subtle world. a passage for the powers that move our days, occult behind this grosser nature's walls. Hidden, occult in this real sense is secret or hidden. Hidden behind the gross material nature, there is another world. There are many worlds. We are now at Canto 2. We have to pass through all the other cantos, Canto 15 cantos. So here there is a power that is at work behind the world of matter. Matter is not just heavy. Matter is very, very subtle. Can be. There is a kind of, it can open, it can relate, it can respond. The body can respond to something very often not material. Your physical body can respond to joy, to love, to fear, not just material, you might say, sensations. So there is a kind of subtlety in our being. We are extremely complex. This sign that we can be completed. The more complex you are, the more complete you can become. And take in all the different elements and put them all together in some kind of universal harmony. And harmony is the ultimate principle in that perfection of the supramental manifestation. We are far from that maybe, but harmonizing ourselves with first ourselves, and harmonizing ourselves with the world around us, above us, below us, but first of all, harmonizing ourselves with ourselves. In that sense of harmony, there is beauty. The beauty of the blending of different forms. There should be a complete blending. There should be an absence of something that is jarring. So ego is jarring. Violence is jarring. Intolerance is jarring. There is a realization that yes, there is so much variety. Each one is different. We are all different. But we are all different expressions of the one who becomes the many. It takes many shapes, many forms. So this passage, this subtle world, is a gossamer marriage hall of mind with form. It is the Kalyan Mandapam of matter with mind. Mind is the world of something that is already where concepts are, plans are, ideas are, form manifests. It's a projection of that world of thought in the world of form. So we have to prepare the body, we have to prepare the physical, the receiving vessel, but there has also got to be a world which is capable of clarity, of harmony, of beauty, of concept. Because most of us don't even know how to think. The mind wanders here and there. Thoughts just float in, float out. If they can have a shape, a perfect shape, a perfect concept, then we get in touch with that part of that world of plans. Otherwise, we just catch a little shred of something, but our minds don't even know how to shape a thought properly. So all these different, this is why so much emphasis she gives to education. Educate your mind, educate your vital, educate your body. Each part can then become capable of receiving and transmitting whatever is the will of the divine. So it's a gossamer magic, because gossamer is very, very fine. It's a hall, it's a room, and yet it's made of something so fine that it is translucent. A gossamer marriage hall of mind with form is hidden by a tapestry of dreams. That's why the dreamer, the artist, the seeker of beauty, he can relate sometimes much better to this world. Heaven's meanings steal through it as through a veil. That's why it's a gossamer marriage hall. Its inner sight sustains this outer scene. That other world sustains this visible world. This visible world did not just come out of matter. This visible world was already shaped, manifesting itself progressively. So this inner world sustains this outer world. I think there are certain philosophers also who speak of this. Plato spoke of that. There's that world of, what was the name? Of perfection that...
World of ideas. World of ideas.
Yes. It's a world that exists and exists forever. It doesn't decrease, it doesn't diminish. And he said something so wonderful about Plato and Shankara. He says, all that the world of thought is done or written is but a footnote to Plato. The footnote to Plato and footnote to... These are the two, Shankara and Plato. They have this idea of concepts. A world of perfect conceptualization. They are truly the ones who are ahead of the race. First you have to have a dream. Then you have the power slowly to acquire the power to manifest that dream. But the dream has to be there. Many are not dreamers. Many will just say, this is not possible. The future is not possible. The future, as the dreamer says, this will be the future of the earth. This is not possible. The dreamer says, it is already done. It pre-exists. The future pre-exists the present. It is towards the future that the earth is moving. It already exists. The goal is at the end of the road. The goal is already there. It's towards that we are going. So the future is not something that will slowly manifest. It is there. Manifest, yes, it will have to slowly manifest. But it exists. Okay?